Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed your weekend because we have a very exciting week and you're probably not going to want to sleep. First of all, we have some major bullish indicators popping off over on WeBull, and I got to talk about the chart and where GameStop could possibly go to and have some rough time. But before I do that, I want to talk about gold hitting another new all-time high at 3,600, almost 3,700, and a JPMorgan analyst explaining why it could push up to 6,000 plus, which is where ticker symbol QIMGF comes in. Really quickly, big miners are running out of gold, and they often buy juniors with new discoveries instead of spending years exploring themselves, which is exactly where this ticker symbol comes in, QIMGF or QIM on the Canadian market, if that is where you are trading. Now they have 59,057 HA land package in Colombia's Antioquia district, which is the country's #1 gold region, home to multi-million ounce mines. So for comparison, that number is bigger than the entire city of Chicago. They also have fully funded drilling underway with their flagship Tahami project drill program for 1,000 meters, which started in August of 2025, and those first drill results come out in Q4 of this year, which is a near-term catalyst that could move the stock, and it could move the stock drastically based on the low float that it has, which I'll talk about in 1 second. They also have upcoming drilling projects in 2026, so that is not the only catalyst that they have. They have an 18 million float, and the CEO holds 24% of which was fully funded through the 2025 expiration, which is insane, and it shows extreme conviction into the play, and they're valued at only a $24 million market cap versus their peers, some in the same exact belt of billion-dollar market caps, and any single catalyst, any single find can trigger major up moves on this stock. It's trading at 57 cents, was up 10% on Friday, almost 11%, and has recently gotten some chunks of volume, building some nice momentum, was very recently listed. In my opinion, this counts as recently listed. But let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Are you guys trading this one? Do you already own this one? And is it an undervalued play in your eyes? Again, only 57 cents with a $24 million market cap is very tiny, and any buy can move the mark on this play. Jumping into GameStop, we had price cross as the moving average, which is bullish, medium term price cross moving average, long term bullish, price cross moving average, so on and so on and so on. Long term bullish, medium term bullish, short term bullish. Everything is bullish on GameStop. All the indicators on WeBull. But I want to talk about where we closed on Friday. We closed at 2608, which was a beautiful thing to see, and everybody was happy we got a close except for market makers. I want to talk about these resistance lines or support lines that draw all the way back since February, March of 2020. And if we zoom into the bigger picture, we are on the macro time frame. We see that GameStop came up and tested the first one so far. Now, I will say I do think we are going to break above this one, but this is the first resistance level, and it could be a big one. Now, why? Well, we are entering a major sell block that they have placed on GameStop's chart. If I remove the drawings, you can see right here that we are in this huge sell block. However, we have other resistance levels, and I think it is in best interest of bondholders as well as large shareholders that we hit $32. So I do believe this will be broken. I do believe this will be absorbed. We also have a gap fill around 28.50, I believe, or so on GameStop on the daily time frame, which I also believe will be filled. With that being said, where do we see a rejection from here? Well, the next resistance level would likely bring GameStop to $29.95. That is also where the most amount of hedging on the short side comes in for those first convertible bond holders. That conversion price is around 29 something, and that is also where we will see some aggressive hedging to the downside. So GameStop has a lot of sell pressure to break through, and if we get through those levels, that shows how strong GameStop's going to be. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Believe it or not, when we get to 32, there will be a lot of hedging to the downside as well. Not exactly at 32, but just above, so that these warrants are in the money per se. We'll just use that as a quote, right? And what's interesting is once we get above these levels, once we get above this box, once we trade up to this box, this is where it gets interesting. Hedges will flip. So shorts will go long, but then right here, longs will try to go short. And this will be a battle. And this I want to point out very, very particularly because once we get up here, this is where people have to pay very close attention to what the stock is going to do. We are either going to break higher, smash 50, maybe go to highs, right? And see something that is much greater than this, or we are going to have a hard rejection and a top around 33 to 36 bucks. So we have to pay very close attention the way big money is going to try to play the stock, right? Are they going to try and keep this thing pinned, or are longs going to win? Now, AMC is not left out of the game just yet. Shout out to 3 Antons over on X. This is the same setup that we are in from 2021, very similar setup during this squeeze, right when AMC gapped higher, and that's exactly where we have been tracking it as well. This just further puts more opinions on the same page when it comes to AMC. And I also wanted to note, we have seen the most volume on AMC we've seen since May of this year on Friday. So we had a huge good old volume candle, which also tested the bottom of this line that we have drawn out. And I believe AMC is also on the verge of its squeeze alongside GameStop. Again, we need more volume, but we had about a 57 million volume candle. And the last time we had a candle similar to that was this 67 million candle, in which case we jumped about 30%. So once more volume comes in, especially into GameStop, we are going to see some exciting moves. Now, let's talk about a little bit of a tin. 4,000 Summers, I will wait for you. Summer ends this Monday, September 22nd. In the Roaring Kitty clip, Seymour goes through all of the seasons. And so we have January 22nd, winter, March, spring, June, September, fall. Indicating that Roaring Kitty is about to come back, or September 22nd, aka tomorrow, starting the week, is now the start of the bullish narrative. We also have 69 weeks from Roaring Kitty's reverse Uno card post being September 29th, 2025, which is also a possible coincidence. And lastly, since Roaring Kitty's live stream, 69 weeks after that on June 7th, that comes out to October 3rd. So we have a very interesting tin that lines up with some things there. Take that with what you will. Now, the Warren Buffett indicator hit 220% for the first time in history. The stock market topped at 190% during the dot-com bubble, showing that the market is in the most overvalued territory based off of one indicator that it has ever been. Now, a government shutdown also looms as the Senate rejects the latest spending bill, and we have these economic data points coming out this week: services PMI Tuesday, along with manufacturing PMI. Then Wednesday, new home sales data. Thursday, Q2 GDP. Thursday as well, jobless claims and durable goods orders. And then existing home sales on Friday, core PCE inflation and consumer sentiment. Here are the earnings for the week. We have BlackBerry Thursday before the open, which is one that some people wanted me to check out in Discord. I will be taking a closer look at that. So that will be interesting as well. BlackBerry is already set up to have its move alongside our basket plays. So the fact that earnings is Thursday kind of excites me. And then last but not least, Swiss Central Bank acquired $258 million in MicroStrategy shares. Switzerland is stacking Bitcoin. MicroStrategy also hinted that they are purchasing even more Bitcoin coming into the week. Overall, that is a quick update. Hope you guys enjoyed watching or found value out of the video, and I hope you all enjoyed your weekend. That is it. Let's make some money this week. And don't forget, this is the last night, because tomorrow it's gone, that you can use code INVESTING, all caps, to get in the Discord and get a percentage off. So make sure to join the Discord server. You guys will not regret it. Also, get the custom indicator. Those top 2 links are in the description. Don't forget, use code INVESTING at checkout when you join the Discord. I love you all. God bless. Lottery stocks out.